I'm making this video in response to a video that Jordan Peterson put up a couple of days ago entitled Creativity, Gift or Curse. There are a couple of statements that he makes in that video that I feel need to be addressed. The first one is where he talks about everyone not being creative. Now, I've watched this video a number of times, transcribed the video, so you'll see me referring to my notes because I don't want to reference something he said, quote him incorrectly. Here we go. He says, "It's a misstatement to say that everyone is creative. Everyone's not creative. That's wrong. It's wrong." I think that statement is a misstatement because it assumes that there is one definition to measure people by and determine whether they are creative or not creative. But there's not one definition of creativity. So for those of you that watched that video and were a little disheartened by all the negativity and all the pronouncements that you're probably not creative, take heart, because you are. Creativity has been studied and researched and debated for almost a century by academics in numerous fields. The thing is, there's not one clear definition of creativity because there are too many contexts that creativity occurs in. Ergo, my channel, Creativity in Context. Check out my other videos. Creativity is complex and fascinating to the people that study it, to the people that pursue it and seek it. People want it, but they don't quite understand it, and that's because they all try to define it. Or they're all seeking one definition, and that's why they're arguing. There's a couple things that Jordan says following these statements. One references intelligence as necessary for creativity. He says you have to be pretty damn smart to be creative. The problem with this is that throughout this video that I'm referring to, he makes numerous comments where he associates artists and artsy types with creativity. The problem is that there are so many special needs people in the world that have made phenomenally creative art that's moving and beautiful. But they may not measure very high on Jordan's scale of intelligence. So that's just one example where his statement can't be a blanket statement. The other thing he throws out is, you have to have these divergent capabilities to be creative. Divergent thinking is not something that should just be thrown out casually. Divergent thinking is the ability to generate different ideas. That's not some talent that you're just born with. It's true that some people have a higher aptitude for it, but learning to think divergently is a skill that can be taught. So if you don't think you're able to generate a lot of ideas, don't assume that you're not creative or can't be more creative. That's simply not true. You can be, I promise. The next thing that I have a problem with is his statement that creative people are really different from non-creative people. For starters, that's a very divisive and inaccurate statement. And it's kind of funny that he also says, let's see, we're going to quote this. He says, "Any term that can be applied to every member of a category has absolutely no meaning. Creative people are really different from non-creative people. Creative people is a category and really different is a term." So basically, this statement that Jordan just made loses all meaning. Yay us. So he invalidates his own statement there. I thought I was going to make a serious video, but the more I looked at the script and as I was listening to his video, I'm like, I can't possibly take this seriously. And you shouldn't either, because it's just so, it's a little bizarre at times. Following his statement that creative people are very different, he says this: partly because creative people are highly motivated to do creative things and to experience novelty, and to chase down aesthetic experiences and to attend movies, go to museums, enjoy poetry, enjoy unconventional music. These are not trivial differences. So, let's break that down just a little bit. Again, he's narrowly categorizing creative people. What he's describing are personal preferences. Creative people attend movies. I haven't seen Deadpool yet, or the new Han Solo movie, but Infinity Wars was awesome. Go to museums. Do you like to go to museums? Maybe you prefer to go to local arts and crafts shows. Okay, next on the list, do you enjoy poetry? Open mic night? Poetry slams? You like to read poetry books? Dr. Seuss? I don't care what anyone says, Dr. Seuss books are poetry. What about enjoy unconventional music? What is unconventional music? I don't know if I'm hip enough to know what unconventional music is. I'm guessing classic rock is out. Okay, so if you enjoy any of these things, then great news. By Dr. Peterson's description, you are creative. So since that's almost all of you listening to this video, we go back to everyone's creative, that's wrong. Everyone is creative, that's right, because you are, dear viewers, chasing down aesthetic experiences. Think about that every time you go to a movie. But the reason it's divisive is because it categorizes creative people as the people that tend to gravitate towards these things. So what if you don't like any of those things? Are you less creative? In one instance, he's very narrow in his divisive comments on creative people. He stereotypes creative people while simultaneously saying that not many of you are. I don't know which one is worse. Then he says, it's a real misstatement to make the proposition that everyone is creative. It's a matter of wishful thinking. My response is, it's a real misstatement to make the proposition that you, Jordan, are an authority on creativity. That's wishful thinking. Anyone that tells the world that they're probably not creative is wrong. It's wrong because there's no definition by which to back that statement up with. It's wrong because you don't know all these people. It's wrong because it's discouraging and destructive and disheartening, and you shouldn't use your platform for that. And it's wrong because it perpetuates the assumption or the bias that creativity is the sole purview of the arts. It's not. There are many people that can be creative that aren't artists. So moving along. The third thing that really bothered me about this video, the whole video bothered me. At first I was really bothered. But now I'm making this video and I feel like I can make a small step towards offering up another perspective for you guys. The third thing that really bothered me is when he said, creativity isn't something you want to curse yourself with. You're probably going to fail. Okay. I don't think that he realizes that the way that sounds, it seems like failure is a bad thing. Failure is not a bad thing. Failure is a great thing within a creative process, because if you fail, you're going to learn something. It's just a part of it. You don't give up, you keep going. Think about Edison. How many failures did he have before that light bulb worked? Failure is good. Seek it. Seek failure, because if you're failing, at least you're doing something. Just keep trying. Don't let failure or the threat of failure keep you from pursuing creative endeavors. Along those lines, he likens creative endeavors to winning the lottery in terms of your chance of being successful. The reason that's just asinine is because a lottery is based on chance, and everyone that plays the lottery does the exact same thing. You buy a ticket. That's it. That is all. A creative endeavor is a highly individual and personal pursuit. It is something that is unique to that person, the product or idea, the application for which they intend it, the attitude, the perseverance, the struggle, the failures, all of these things, and the way they react and move through, navigate all of these things in the journey to bring that creative idea, product to life are unique and different. So they cannot be equated to a lottery. No! It's just bizarre. Next, he builds a damning case for why you're probably going to fail. Most of his evidence is related to business skills. Marketing, business building, let's see, what else did he say? Marketing, sales, customer service, pricing, blah, 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 blah. All of these business things. And if you don't have these things, you're going to fail. Well, that presupposes that you want to build a business from your creative idea or your creative product. Maybe you just want to make something. Maybe you're making a gift. Maybe you don't want to do it as a business. That doesn't invalidate the creativity of the idea or the product. Furthermore, you can find out whatever you need to find out if you do want to build a business. And if that's what you want to do with your idea, don't let his video discourage you. Read a book. There's tons of books on business skills. You can learn this. Find a mentor. Go to school. Watch YouTube. You can find ways to build and increase your business knowledge. So this is no reason to tell an audience that they're probably going to fail because they don't have these skills. These are learnable skills. From there, he goes into money. He's like, you're going to put your family and friends at risk with your stupid idea. What caught me about that is when he said stupid idea. Overall, the language of his video was very negative, unnecessarily negative. I don't understand why he felt the need to talk like that, especially to his students who were sitting there in the lecture that was being filmed. People thought Einstein's ideas were stupid. In fact, a lot of creative ideas tend to be regarded skeptically at first. People with new ideas are often thought of a little sideways. You know, they're illogical, their ideas are going against the status quo or the norm, and people don't know what to make of it, and they're not well received. Just because somebody says it's a stupid idea doesn't make it a stupid idea. Don't let anybody tell you that your idea is stupid. It's not. People thought Einstein's idea was stupid. Explaining his discovery of relativity, Einstein said he just ignored the axiom. And if you have a creative idea that you want to pursue, just ignore Jordan Peterson. At least this video, which spends many minutes telling you that you're just going to fail. Moving along from that, creativity, again, is not contingent on whether or not your idea is monetized. That has no bearing on the validity of it being creative. Now, a creativity scholar might say that the idea has to be useful in order to be creative. But remember what I told you about there not being one clear definition of creativity. So there are a group of scholars that do ascribe to that, and there are scholars that don't ascribe to it. It's my belief that other people shouldn't set themselves up to be the judge of your creative idea. It's great if your idea is useful. Fantastic. It's great if you can market your idea. But just because someone else says your idea is not useful, or it hasn't impacted society in some big way, that's just remember that is their definition and understanding. It doesn't have to be yours, okay? It doesn't have to be yours. Don't let anyone dissuade you from your own creative endeavors. You know, going back to a statement about creativity is not something you'd want to curse yourself with because you'd probably fail, that's just so sad. And he claims that he knows what he's talking about because he has creative friends, artists and musicians. But then he goes on to say, creative people need to find a real job and parse out time to pursue their craft. That's simultaneously ignorant and demeaning. I just can't. So I want to leave you with a few thoughts. One, creativity is a good thing and you are creative. Now the way that manifests in your life, the degree to which you're creative, that varies a lot. And that's okay too, but don't let anybody tell you that you're not creative. The second thing I want you to remember is creativity is not one thing. It's not a work of art. It's not a revolutionary idea. It's not this, it's not that, it's not this. Creativity is contextual. What is creative to you, original to you, might not be for someone else, and that's okay. It just depends on the context of what you need, of why you're being creative. Just remember that creativity is a way to think. It's not the product or the result of the thinking. It's a way to think. It's a way to solve problems, a way to ask questions, answer questions. Creativity is fluid, it's integrative, it's distinctive. It's something that you can have an innate capacity for, and it's something that can be developed and improved. But it's not something that someone else gets to determine that you have or don't have. So there are numerous ways that it can be revealed. So I want you to remember that it doesn't depend on whether you make money from your creative widget. And it doesn't depend on whether you can make money from your art. Okay? I give you Van Gogh. And it doesn't depend on whether or not you can draw or if you're an artist. I give you Steve Jobs. And the last thing is, creativity can't be valued by all of these outside factors. Creativity is, at the beginning, very personal. And it's something that you can enjoy. Your idea doesn't have to rock the world to be valid. It can be something as simple as a 5-year-old's first drawing of their family. So please, remember that you are creative. Jordan, that video, creativity, gift or curse, was very misleading and detrimental to your audience. To my audience, any experiences that you've had, your thoughts, please let me know. And check out the other videos in my channel. I'm going to continue to post videos on creativity, and I hope that you will subscribe, like, and share.